Alright, this should be very short and simple. We're going to talk about zero stop for the Sightron rifle scopes. I'm a big fan of the Sightrons. They're very, very good scopes for the money. I would argue that their value is very high. They're in a, I'm not going to say they're getting into the alpha glass category, but they're very repeatable. The glass is good. I've never had any problem with them whatsoever, except for I was never a giant fan of the turrets, and as scopes of other brands progressed and started to have zero stops, it left me a lot wanting with the Sightron. So we're going to talk about this rudimentary zero stop. I believe the company is just called zerostop.com. You can Google it. They've got a couple different options. So what I did was I ordered the zero stop. I don't know what it was called. I didn't do the custom because when I measured, so what they want you to do to get the custom is measure the distance between the scope, body, and the turret itself. Well, if you took several different measurements around, it was different, and as you turned the turret, it changed. So if you got a custom one, and it was quite a bit more money, I don't know that it would actually fit like you would expect a custom to fit. So I just ordered the bare one. So what I did was I unscrewed the turret. There's nothing under here at that time. I took the zero stop out of the package. I did measure to have a measurement. I measured what the zero stop thickness was. So I measured how thick it was up and down here, and I measured what the distance between the turret and the scope body at the lowest point. And then I just took this to a file and started filing until I got really close. Of course, I already knew the rifle scope zero. I've had this for quite a while. It's actually been on 7 different rifles. But so when I got close, I put it on. Before I took it off or put the zero stop on. So the zero stop just slides down over the housing here. And before I put that on, I spun it up to 15 minutes. It doesn't really matter what you do, just get the turret out of the way. So then I slid the zero stop down over the scope body, and then I put the turret back on and I spun it down until I don't remember what the exact number was on the first go, but let's just say it spun down to 5 minutes. So I spun it back up to 15 minutes. Carefully removed the zero stop, did some more filing. Really a couple sweeps on the file at this point. It's taken quite a bit of material off. So I slid it back down over the scope body, put the turret back on, and spun it down. I had to do that about 5 or 6 times. I was probably getting like 1 minute at a time until I got it pretty close. You could probably get it perfect if you cared a little bit more or had more time, but I got it on there. So hopefully what I just said makes sense, but it does have a little bump here on the zero stop. I believe you can order it without it. I ordered it with it, which I set exactly where my zero is, and now that I have it installed, I can spin the turret up and I can spin it down. I did go a little bit too far. I'm about 3/4 of a minute low, but the real thing about it is I'm not going to get lost. I know where zero is. I can spin this up, clear up to the stop. I range and I shoot 1,200-1,300 yards. I can just go back down here and not have to worry about where zero is. I know it's right there. Go a couple clicks up and you're good to go. Now, let's talk about the good and the bad. Really, there's not a whole lot of bad about it if you like the Sightrons like I do, but you have to have a zero stop or want a zero stop, or you're looking at other scopes because they have zero stops and yours doesn't. You're thinking about upgrading because you absolutely need or want a zero stop. Take a look at this because it may allow you to use the Sightron, and realistically, I've played with quite a bit of scopes in this price range. I don't think there's another one that competes when you talk about the repeatability, the price, and the glass. I don't think there's another one that competes until you start throwing in the extras like the turrets, what the crosshairs, the reticles they have available, and zero stops. Now, in a previous video, I talked about the new turrets they have as accessories. Those are great upgrades to the Sightron. The zero stop is a great upgrade to the Sightron. It makes it realistically adds for roughly $150, adds about $500 of value to me. Your opinion may be different. Your wants, needs, desires may be different. I still am not a giant fan of the 2-minute reticle in these scopes, but I still prefer it to the mill. So that's it. It's a very simple install. I'll try to answer any questions if you have them. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Have a good day.